Hi, I'm Cade, and besides Scrooge and Peter, I'll be portraying Old Joe.
Hi, it's Annika, and I'm back speaking for Miss Stout.
I'm Sophia, and I am portraying Mrs. Mammoth.
This is Kaylee, and I play Mrs. Gout.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and I am playing Miss Scarlet.
This is Danny, and I'm speaking for Miss French and the Laundress.
I'm Robbie, and I'm playing the Undertaker's man, Mr. Chandler, and continuing to play Mr. Cratchit.
Hi, this is Shelby, and other than Miss Cratchit, I'm speaking for Miss Dilber.
Hi, I'm Mary, and I'm Mrs. Chandler, and Zachary is returning as Tiny Tim.
In Act 3, the Ghost of Christmas Future arrives to show Scrooge all of the terrible things that will happen if he doesn't amend his evil ways. We also see a majority of the people that Scrooge has hurt in his life.
We are back in Scrooge's house, and watch as Scrooge sits on the floor and does nothing. He sits for a few moments and then notices that there is something standing over him. He looks up to see a huge spectre, a cowled figure, of which he can only see the outlines of the garment. This figure seems to be staring into his soul.
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come?
The spirit says nothing, and only points with his skeletal hand.
You are about to show me the things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Is that so, spirit?
The head of the spirit nods slightly. Scrooge tries to stand, but his legs are shaking so much that it takes a couple of tries.
Ghost of the future. I fear you more than any spectre I've seen, and yet I know you are here for my own good, to help me change from the man that I was. I will go with you and keep a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, lead on.
The spirit walks away with Scrooge following closely. They arrive near a group of well-to-do people and listen intently to what they are saying.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
Why? What was the matter with him?
God knows.
What has he done with his money?
I haven't heard. Left it to his company, maybe? He hasn't left it to me. I know that. I bet it'll be the cheapest funeral you can imagine. I don't know anybody who'd go.
Let's volunteer as a group. It'll be a great party.
Well, I don't mind going. It should be a good time.
I'll go, as long as lunch is being served. But I must be fed.
Well, I don't care if we go or not. I don't wear black gloves and I never eat lunch. But I'll go if we all go. Come to think of it, I'm not sure I wasn't his closest friend. We used to stop and speak when we met. Well, goodbye.
How are you? Well, I guess old man Rebo got what was coming to him. Well, it is Christmas time. You're not a skater, are you? Bye.
Going to the funeral, are you?
The funeral? Are you kidding? I wouldn't miss it. It's not every day you get to say goodbye to the likes of him. We're going on holiday right afterwards. What a right way to start. Today is the first day of the rest of my life, and this makes the future look even better.
Spirit, what does this have to do with me? It's not Jacob, that's the past. But it's not anyone I know. Everyone in fine health. Wait, is it Tiny Tim? No, no one would say such mean things about him. Who could it be, Spirit? Well, lead on.
We glance into Scrooge's counting house, and above the door there is a new sign with a name on it. He sees a new man sitting at his desk, and Cratchit working away, but this time Cratchit's sorrow is obvious. The new man comes down and puts coal on the fire, and pats Cratchit in a friendly and kind manner. Scrooge notices, and then looks at the spirit, who is sitting on a stool in a room full of junk and rags, trash, scrap metal, and the like, is a man whose age is unknowable. In walks a woman with ashes carrying a packet, then makes a clattering noise. And next, another woman who is carrying a bundle, and they are shortly joined by old Joe.
Let the charwoman alone. I'm the one that got here first.
The laundress is next.
The undertaker's man is last, then. What do you think of that, old Joe? All three of us here at once. We can't have met a better time, even if we planned it.
There's no better place for it. Come into me office. My castle is your castle. No one's a stranger here. Ain't that right, Gilbert? Find a seat if you can. Me old bones me to use this one. Now, my dear, what have you brought for your old lovely?
Here you go. What odds? Every person has a right to take care of herself. He did.
That's true. No one else ever took better care of himself.
Well, don't look so scared.
No one's gonna send you to the jailhouse.
No one's gonna hurt you, dearie. Who are we gonna tell? No one knows.
That's right. And who's the worse for the loss of a few things like this?
Not a dead man, I suppose.
If he wanted to keep them after he was dead, why would he be such a wicked old screw?
Why wasn't he natural in his lifetime?
I wish it were a heavier judgment. I would have been too if I had found anything else I could carry.
Let's look at what you brought.
Open mine. Tell me what it's worth.
Well, what do we have here? An old seal, pencil case, a pair of sleeve buttons, and a brooch. Well, it's not worth much, and I wouldn't give a penny more for it if I was to be boiled in oil. Now, who's next?
I'm last. Here it is. Sheets, towels, a little apron, a couple old-fashioned teaspoons, sugar tongs, and some boots.
Well, here it is. I always give too much to the ladies. It's a weakness of mine. If you'd asked for more, I probably would have thought about giving you too much.
Wait, Joe. You could take what's mine was wrapped in.
What?
Take a close look at those wrappings, Joe.
What is this?
Bed curtains?
You don't mean to say you took them down, rings and all, with him lying right there dead?
Yes, I do. Why not?
You were born to make your fortune.
He didn't complain. I certainly wouldn't have held back when I can have what I want by taking it.
It is at this moment that old Joe holds an oil lamp over the blankets.
His blankets?
You took his blankets?
Why not? It's not like he's gonna catch a flu without them.
Oh, I hope he didn't die of anything catching.
Don't be afraid of that. I ain't so fond of his company that I would hang around him for such things as if there were something catching. Now, look at that shirt, Joe. You wouldn't find a hole in it or a threadbare place. It's the best he had, and a fine one too. They would have wasted it if it weren't for me.
What do you mean, wasted it?
Putting it on him to bury him in it. Somebody's foolish enough to do it, so I took it off. If it ain't good enough for the grave, it ain't good enough for anything.
What a way to treat a dead man.
Come on, look at my stuff, old Joe. Look at my stuff. I got it fair and square. It was easy, you know, 'cause no one else was there.
If he had been better in life, he might have had somebody to take care, to be a good kind of wife, to be buried with something to wear.
Come on, old Joe, tell me what they're worth. Come on, tell me. Speak up.
You in the lottery, my sweet. I love a lady with brass.
I ain't much, but it's more clarity than he gave many a mother and child. He frightened everyone away so he could profit us off in death.
We are now transported to a scene where there is a bed and a body covered in a shroud.
Spirit, I see. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. Why, my life tends to be that way right now.
Scrooge turns and sees the shrouded body.
Ah, what is that? If this man came back from the dead right now, what would he think about? Gathering more money, getting the best bargain, worrying about who might cheat him? They did him no good. He lies here. Is there no one to care for him? No wife, no child, and no friend? No one to say he was kind to me? Is there nothing you can do to help this man?
The spirit rotates his head from left to right.
Well, if nothing else, I'll think kind thoughts for this poor man.
Scrooge is silent, but in his thoughtfulness he hears a scratching coming from several directions.
Spirit, this is a fearful place. I won't forget this lesson. Please, let's go.
The ghost points at the head of the body once more.
I understand that you want me to pull back the shroud. Please, Spirit, don't make me do it. I can't.
The spirit only blankly looks at Scrooge.
Isn't there anyone who will miss this man? If there is, please show him to me.
Is it good or bad?
Bad.
We're ruined.
Maybe not. We have hope.
If he changes his mind, there's nothing set yet. It would take a miracle, but maybe...
He can't change his mind. He's dead. That woman we met last night, the crazy one, told me he was dying, but I didn't believe her. I was going to ask for another week. I thought he was just trying to avoid me.
Well, who's in charge of collecting our payment then?
I don't know, but it'll give us another week at least to get the money. We're not that short. Even if we don't have it all, no one can be as cruel as him. But it doesn't matter. We'll get the money.
What a relief. I could finally get some sleep tonight. Are you sure you'll have the money?
Yes.
Spirit, his death is the cause of their happiness. Let me see someone who wishes to see if he was still alive. If you don't, I won't believe there's any hope for me.
We are once again in the Cratchit house. Mrs. Cratchit and her children are gathered around the fireplace, but all are quiet.
And he took a child and set it in the midst of them.
Where have I heard that before?
The colour, it hurts my eyes. Poor Tiny Tim.
Mrs. Cratchit rubs her eyes wearily.
That's better now. My eyes are fine. Working in this light strains them. Your father should be home soon, children. Remember, act cheerful and happy. The poor man has enough to think about. He should be home soon.
But I think he's been walking slower for the past few days.
He could walk pretty fast with Tiny Tim on his shoulders.
True.
He didn't weigh much. He was your father's joy. Here he comes, your father. Good thoughts, everyone.
Mr. Cratchit enters, dressed warmly as the weather is very cold, but he is still shivering. Everyone runs to give him tea, help him out of his coat, and do anything to make him comfortable.
Well, thank you, everyone. Mother, your sewing is coming along nicely. It should be ready by Sunday.
Sunday? You went today, Bob?
Yes, dear. I wish you could have gone. You would have been pleased at how green the little place is. But you'll see it soon. I promised that I'd visit every Sunday.
At this point, Mr. Cratchit can no longer keep up the ruse, and breaks down crying.
My son! My poor little son! Oh, Tiny Tim, I loved you so much! We all loved you.
Bob, oh Bob, we loved him so very much. Come here, my husband.
Mrs. Cratchit moves to Mr. Cratchit and holds him tenderly until his fit is past. Then he looks at Tiny Tim's chair. It is very small, but Mr. Cratchit sits down in it dejectedly. After a moment, he puts on his cheerful face again.
Well, you'll never guess who I met today. It was Mr. Scrooge's nephew Fred. He was very kind to me, even though I'd only met him once. He looked a little down. I asked what's wrong, and he told me. He is such a kind young man. He was truly sorry for you, my good wife. Then he said he was sorry for us as well. How he knew that, I'll never know.
Knew what?
That you were a good wife, my dear. You are a good wife. At least, I hope they do. He said if I can be of any service to you, let me know. It really felt like he knew Tiny Tim.
I'm sure he's a good man.
He is, and you'd believe me if you'd met him. Maybe he could help Peter get a better job.
Oh, Peter. Bob, do you think he would?
If Peter had a job, he'd start dating.
Oh, be quiet, Belinda.
You know I'm only playing.
Well, I'll ask him about it.
He pauses here as his thoughts shift.
I want to make sure that we'll all remember Tiny Tim as long as we live. He was such a happy boy. Promise me that when we fight, we'll always remember Tiny Tim and how we always tried to make peace.
Then that makes me happy.
Tiny Tim. He died. But I would have helped him. He didn't have to die. Oh, that poor child. But wait, this is all the future, right? I can change, can't I? Please tell me that it can be changed. Wait, Spirit, please tell me who that man was. The dead man. Who was he?
The two now stand in the graveyard.
Where are you going, Spirit? There's a house here, and I see my house? Why are we here? This is the church graveyard. Why are we here? Did they bury the man here?
The spirit brings Scrooge to a headstone and points at the grave.
Spirit, I've changed my mind. Let's go home. I don't want to see the headstone.
The moonlight shines on the headstone, and it reads Ebenezer Scrooge.
Spirit, This is my grave. That man, it was me? It was me! Oh no, Spirit. Please tell me that I can change. Please, my heart is softer. Please don't let it end this way. No, I'll change. I'll try to help Tiny Tim. I'll honor my nephew. I'll be kinder to my clients. Wait. Am I awake? I'm awake. What time is it? Is Christmas over yet? Wait, listen to that. It's carols, and they're singing. Friend, what day is it? Is this Christmas over?
No, Mr. Scrooge. I am sorry for you that Christmas is here.
Wait, I know you two. You and the ones in my office asking for a donation. Wait, what have I here in my pocket? Oh, I need to keep this for a few moments, but I can offer this right now. I'm sorry, it's not much.
Mr. Scrooge, any donation will help.
We will be pleased to accept on behalf of the poor. It will go providing something for their Christmas dinner.
Oh, I have much more to give. Please come into my office this afternoon. I will give you enough money to buy food for everyone.
Why, Mr. Scrooge, it is unkind to poke fun at the poor.
Wait, Sartre, I think he's serious.
What? Is it possible?
I would never poke fun at the poor. I'm serious. Please do come into my office this afternoon. Oh, and sing. Everybody sing. Please, it's Christmas. Sing. Have a holly jolly Christmas, nephew. Are you still intent on celebrating Christmas with friends and family?
Yes, Uncle. It's one of the things we relish most about this time of year.
And do you still play silly games of blind man's bluff and the like?
Yes, Uncle, but we keep the noise down so that we don't disturb the neighbors.
And will you have dinner with a goose and a pudding?
My lovely wife has been preparing for days. But no worry, Uncle. We put aside a little cash every payday for this celebration. I promise, Uncle, we will not bother you.
I would be happy to join you.
Now, Uncle, please don't. Did you say that you would be happy to?
Why, yes, if the invitation still stands.
Why, Uncle, you've made me a very happy man. Of course, the invitation still stands. 5:30. We'll start the festivities then. Uncle, you have no idea how wonderful this is. What has brought on such a change?
I had a visit from some old friends that helped me to see... Alfred, just know that I want to spend the rest of my life making those around me happy. I have plenty of money to live comfortably, and I still find ways to make other people's lives a little easier.
Thank you, Uncle. I can't wait to rush home and tell my wife. I only wish my mother could be here to see this. She would be very happy.
Thank you, Fred. I will make another stop before I'm ready to join you. There's something I have to fix. Merry Christmas.
Ebenezer Scrooge walks down the street and finds himself in the presence of Mr. Chandler.
Mr. Chandler, may I have a word, please?
Good morning, Mr. Scrooge. I didn't see you there.
I believe your final payment is due in less than 8 hours. Is this true?
Mr. Scrooge, I was going to see you about that later. Please, if I could just have one more week. I've not missed a single payment all these years. And when I came to see you before, I not know what I know now. I will have the final payment next week.
Mr. Chandler.
You see, I've just taken a large candle order, and I'll be finished making them in 3 days.
Mr. Chandler.
Then it will take 2 days to process payment for the candles.
The final payment...
Please, Mr. Scrooge, have mercy on us this once.
Forgiven.
My wife and I will welcome our first child in just a few months.
Oh, how wonderful. You don't need to worry.
We'll be... what did you say?
The payment is forgiven. Use that money to give your child a good start to life.
Mr. Scrooge, I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything.
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Scrooge, I wonder if you will join us for our holiday dinner.
Thank you. But I already have accepted an invitation. I would be honored to invite your family to my house later on in the year to celebrate the birth of your child. Young man.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
Is there still a great goose in the window of the butcher?
Oh, yes!
Well, would you take this coin to his shop and deliver the goose to his address? Oh, wait, I'll write that address down. Here, take it as well and buy everything to go along with such a bird. Please don't tell them who sent this. Promise? Here's something for your troubles.
Oh, yes, Mr. Scrooge. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You're a good boy. Now, let me see. I need to go...
We are now in the home of the Cratchits. The family, including Tiny Tim, are getting ready for dinner.
Who could that be?
I wonder if it's our mysterious benefactor.
It would be wonderful to be able to thank them.
I love the smell of that goose.
Mother's pudding smells wonderful as well.
What a wonderful day!
Mr. Scrooge?
Mr. Scrooge?
Mr. Scrooge?
Mr. Scrooge?
Please, do come in. What is this? Mr. Scrooge, what's happened?
Mr. Cratchit, how long have you worked for me?
Well,
In that time, have I never offered you a Christmas bonus? Or raised your wages?
No, Mr. Scrooge, you haven't.
I have never inquired about your family.
Never.
That will all change today.
I don't understand.
I have had a dream, and I intend to change my ways. I'll start here with you and your family.
I am very happy for you, Mr. Scrooge. For myself and my family as well.
I see. Your son, Peter, is it? Yes, sir. You are a fine young man. You need a position to help you set up in life. What would you say to coming to work for me? You would be working alongside your father.
My, Mr. Scrooge, that is a very generous offer.
Bob, I would like you to manage my affairs. You've proven to yourself to be a valuable employee over the years. This position comes with a substantial raise in wages, and time off to take care of your family, especially Tiny Tim here. Miss Cratchit, I'm truly sorry of your troubles, and have caused your family over the years.
Mr. Scrooge, I don't know what to say.
I do. Thank you, Mr. Scrooge.
Now, before I go, let's have a nice mug of cider to cement our new friendship.
Oh yes, let's do it.
I wish your family the best of Christmas all year long, and I will see that your son gets the best medical help available.
Hear, hear.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
God bless us, everyone.